What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Gaming Nation. We have been away for a while, but when it comes to going away for a while for us over here at Gaming Nation and Fandoms Anonymous as a whole, we like to provide consistent quality content. If it's not quality, it's not going out. If it's not good content, it's not going out. So we've been working behind the scenes, making sure that we bring you some great production, some great content, and we are here tonight to talk about E3. As you guys know, it is the big gaming conference where all of the game systems and companies and organizations, they come out and they say, hey, this is what you're going to spend your money on within the next 6 to 8 months or a year. So I got a large panel on the line tonight. I got my man Dan all the way from Iowa. What's going on, Dan?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? It's a pleasure to be here.
Most definitely. I got my man Clay out of Pensacola, Florida, out of the Florida area. What's going on, Clay, from Tales of the Bard?
What's going on, everybody? It's Clay from Tales of the Blade. Malcolm, what's going on this evening?
What's going on? I'm sorry, Tales of the Blade. I know I always get that last part mixed up. Because I've seen Bard, I've seen Blade, Tales of the Blade. I'm so sorry, Clay. We'll make sure we get that right this evening. And I got my man Darrell, Mr. Inferno himself from Inferno's PS4 Share Play. If you haven't checked it out, he just did the video for the new gun running downloadable content from Grand Theft Auto 5. What's going on, Darrell?
What's up, man? Happy to be here.
What's going on? Okay, guys, let's get started. Now, me, I play video games, but I'm an old school gamer. A lot of the new stuff I don't play with. The price point is too high. I have a wife who manages the budget, so I stick to collecting my pop figures, and new video games are not in the budget, so I have to accept that. And I play all my old video games. I still have a Nintendo Wii that I play GameCube disc on. Who would have knew? That's what I like to do. So just because that's me doesn't mean that there are other people out there who aren't playing the newest systems, the newest games, and that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about E3, what they brought to the table. I saw a lot of different videos. Of course, the guys on the panel, they saw a lot of different stuff. Let's jump right into it. Let's start off with Microsoft. Now, we've known Microsoft since they've came out with their first Xbox One. We've all played with different Microsoft games. I personally have never been a fan of the Xbox. That's just me. It was too many buttons, too many different colors. I'm strictly Nintendo. I can play PlayStation all day, but Xbox, too much for me. So, guys, I'm going to start with Dan first. Dan, what did you think about the Microsoft conference from E3?
Well, I think the good thing that we can take from Microsoft is they are trying to get a step ahead of PlayStation with releasing the half step. They've got the One X coming out. It looks like it's going to be a little bit faster. They are just putting 4K into it, which, the PS4s already have 4K, but she does run a little bit faster than the PS4. So that means that PlayStation in a year or two is going to have to come out with a new console.
Clay, what's your thoughts on the Microsoft conference?
As usual, man, I mean, they don't really try to bring a whole lot to the table in terms of their newer stuff. They don't really try to push any kind of new IPs, which I always get a little bit depressed about with them. It's usually just a lot of the same cookie-cutter stuff they always try to press. I was actually shocked they didn't try to throw in a new Gears of War or Halo this year. But, yeah, like he said about the 4K thing, they are really trying to push that. They are trying to advance their technology, and that is actually a good point in their favor for sure.
And when it comes to Microsoft, of course, we know Microsoft mainly deals with computers, and if anybody, they would be the first to come out with better technology, faster graphics, better hard drives, things of that nature. One of the jokes that I've seen online is people saying that during the conference they showed Minecraft and they was like, it looks no different than the original Minecraft. It's just a newer system. It's still the same old blocks. I do not get Minecraft. Can somebody please explain Minecraft to me? I see it and I'm like, this looks dumb. It looks like it's for kids, but there are grown men and grown women who have built these entire worlds with Minecraft. Can anybody please on this panel explain to me what Minecraft is?
Well, that's actually where it started. I don't play my kids into it now, It started from more like almost like an indie scene, kind of like a cult classic. And grown adults are playing it, and then it got popular enough and the characters are easy to push. And now you come in Target, and there's a whole section of Minecraft. It's marketing, bud.
Hey, you can't beat it. Can't beat it. Darrell, what do you think about Minecraft?
Well, like he just said, I mean, my son, he's into it. I just couldn't get into it because I don't like, the graphics they chose, like the too big graphics they chose. I don't like that. So I just never got into Minecraft, but my son loves it. I mean, you can create your own world. So I guess that's why it's so interesting, because you can literally build things the way you want to build. You can build a house. You can build a house with a swimming pool. You can build a house with like a little cave. So you can do so much with it. So I think that's why it's so popular, because kids can play with their friends. They can literally build what they want to build for hours and hours at a time. My son always comes to me and say, "Dad, look what I built." And I go see what he built, and it'd be amazing. He said, "Okay, this is my house," and he go take a picture, and he push a little button, and he go downstairs. So I believe it's interesting, but I just couldn't get into it. It's just me.
Clay, are you into the Minecraft, man?
I'm really not. I never really got into it, but like Darrell was just saying, the big appeal for it is the fact that you are, as a gamer, you get to build your own world. I mean, I remember the inception of Minecraft when people were building scale models of the USS Enterprise, and it was ridiculous just to see the extent of the size of the ship, and it was honestly insane, and it was actually really cool, how creative people were with Minecraft, and then they created. It was gamers creating their own world. That's where the appeal was, and it's an amazing concept. And a lot of other games have tried it, including EverQuest, which was an MMO franchise. They did Landmark, which was really cool. I actually baited it for a while, and I really enjoyed it. And I think that the concept behind it is what really draws people in.
Most definitely. Next thing we're going to jump over to is Nintendo. Now we're talking about my game. Whereas I love Nintendo, like you heard me earlier, I still play Nintendo. Me and Darrell, we go way back when it comes to some good Nintendo games. Check out another episode that's on the Gaming Nation segment or playlist on the YouTube channel where we talk about all of the hottest games that we played on Nintendo when we were growing up. I mean, we're talking about Mario Party. We were avid Mario Party players, 2 and 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. We're up playing Mario Party. We're playing Mario Kart, all those games. So one of the things that I saw from Nintendo, which I already saw sometime last year, was the new Mario game. Now, this is the only reason that I may or may not pick up a Nintendo Switch, because I'm loving how this Super Mario Odyssey game looks. I'm a big fan of the Super Mario Galaxy series when it came out on the Wii. I remember me and Darrell, we beat Super Mario Galaxy 1, we beat Super Mario Galaxy 2, and we loved it. So, Clay, what did you think about what Nintendo brought to the table?
Dude, I was excited 5 Ways to Sunday about everything that Nintendo brought, from Metroid Prime 4, which all we got was just a little bit of a teaser there. I'm like, I want to see more. Come on, Samus Returns. Even Sonic Forces, which ever since Sonic went 3D, I haven't been the biggest fan of, but I'm actually excited about Sonic Forces. The Kirby game, Kirby's always had a big appeal to me as a game just because it's fun. It's a great game to get into and just kind of lose yourself in. And yeah, Super Mario Odyssey, man. I mean, my inception as a gamer went all the way back to the original Mario, and I've just been playing Mario ever since. Any variety of Mario. I remember studying the strategy guide for Super Mario 64.
Dan, did you get a chance to check out everything from Nintendo?
Oh, man, I loved everything from Nintendo, man. I mean, where can we start? We got the new Pokemon game, Tournament DX. It looks pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. And then you got the new Yoshi game. I checked that out. It looks pretty fun. It looks like a game you can play with, a 7-year-old and with like an 80-year-old. Through any age, you can pick that up and play that. I think the coolest thing for me by Nintendo is not only did we get the new Metroid game, but we got a handheld version too. And I can't remember the last time that they've made a good handheld Metroid. Like, I had a couple for the DS, They were good, but they just weren't great. So I'm really excited.
Well, Darrell, what about you, man? Did you get check out Nintendo as well?
Yes, I checked out Nintendo, and it's like what both of them said. I mean, Nintendo, they brought the game. You know, yeah, they teased me with Metroid. I was upset because I wanted to see more Metroid, and yeah, I was upset that that Smash Brothers or Mario Party game was missing. But everything else was great. The game I was most impressed about was Skyrim. I mean, if anybody knows, Skyrim is a very, very large game, and it's very good. And it looks like how Nintendo is putting like the Nintendo spin on it with I think it's an amiibo, and they put Link inside of Skyrim. And then I see them using the like bow and arrow with Skyrim. I mean, it looks amazing. And the Mario Odyssey. Oh my God, I can't wait to play the game. I'm gonna pick up a Switch just for Mario Odyssey. I mean, him using his hat to even be some of the creatures. I mean, it just looks amazing how they're gonna do it, how everything works.
Mm-hmm. And I can say, you know, this is the first open world game that we've gotten for Nintendo when it comes to Mario since Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I thought was amazing, which I thought they should have kept that franchise going. But I have no problem with this Mario Odyssey game at all. You got Bowser with a pimp suit on, with a pimp hat. No, it doesn't get any better. It really doesn't get any better. Next thing, guys, I want to jump on to is we want to talk about Sony's conference. Dan, give me your thoughts about Sony's conference.
I loved it. I honestly thought that they probably had the best out of all of them. They didn't come with a new system, but they came with the good old plan that always works with Sony is we're going to give you good games and really show you what we got. I mean, some of these, like, they look like a movie trailer, man. Like, Spider-Man. That, man, like, I've never seen Spider-Man look like that. Like, like, there's so many good things. Something else I really did like was the God of War trailer. That was amazing. It looked like a movie, man. And I really liked the story that they added his son to it. Thought it was great.
And I want to say something about God of War real quick. I caught a video where they had the actors that were doing the mocap for the God Kratos and his son. And it was just amazing to see them using their voices and their acting skills to act out the scene where it was a part where I think they were in a boat, and Kratos was walking around the boat and the son was on one end of the boat. So to see the behind the scenes motion capture of that, I thought it was amazing. I know I tagged Darrell in it, and we both watched it, and I loved every last bit of it. And it made me interested to see or to watch somebody else play the game. I can never get with big games like that. I mean, I understand, I have nothing against gamers who can sit down and play those big, wide, open world games. Give me my Mario. Give me my SSX Tricky. Like I say, I'm old school. I'm still stuck back in the early 2000s, and that's fine because it costs less money. So, other than that, like I said, my big thing is collecting pops. I will go spend $30 on some pops rather than $30 on a brand new video game. So that's just me. That's my prerogative. But people like Clay, on the other hand, you like those open world games. So Clay, what did you think about Sony's conference?
Oh my God! I mean, I can never say enough about Sony. If there's one conference I definitely try to get home from work to be able to catch, it's always Sony. Like, because I work, at weird hours from time to time, but I always try to make it home for Sony's conference. Everything else I'll just catch as they pop up on YouTube videos. But honestly, they always just have an amazing conference. I mean, I remember when they came out with the PS4 and they came out to Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. I was bouncing in my couch. It was so much fun. And Sean Layden, I love the guy to death. I think he needs to work on his improv a little bit. If I had one minor point to throw in there about what was negative, I mean, he looked like he was kind of out of his element, but that's like I said, it's a minor point. The games were phenomenal. Detroit, like they said, it looked like a movie. It honestly did. It looked so good, and I'm actually excited about that game. God of War, yeah, I can't say enough. I really can't say enough about the Sony conference. It was so good.
Most definitely. And Clay, you have a gaming channel on YouTube. Tell us a little bit about that.
The gaming channel I do on YouTube, I usually try to include a lot of upcoming AAA titles, but for the most part, I do stick to a little bit more nostalgia gaming. It's where it's where I grew in. It's where I think that a lot of people kind of miss out on gaming nowadays. It's just titles that are fun, titles that are intriguing. But I think it's important as a Let's Player that we try to bring people in to really enjoy the games as we play them. It's not just about watching a game. It's about really understanding it, really getting into it, and really finding the finer points of it. And that's really what I try to get across in Tales of the Blade.
Most definitely. So tell us where we can all find Tales of the Blade. Tell everybody where you can find you.
Hey, man, you can go on youtube.com/Tales of the Blade. It's TAILSOFTHEBLADE. It is meant to be ironic, no typo. We'll put a link out in the description somewhere, I'm sure. But we're also on Facebook. You can find us there, too. And we have links to all of our channels there as well.
Most definitely. Darrell, Mr. PS4 man, tell us about what you thought about the Sony conference.
Man, what can I say? I think Clay and Dan already said everything. I mean, Sony's conference was just great. They always come with the game, and that's why they always take E3. They come with the game. It's like they came out. I think they started with I can't remember the game name right now. It's gonna kill me. I can't remember the game now, but it's like, okay, yeah, God of War. I love God of War, and I like the fact that they're using his son, and it's like his son's gonna be involved in the game. So I seen with one scene where a monster jumped out and his son stabbed it in the head. So it looks like his son's gonna be very, very involved in this game. And then Detroit, that game looks awesome, and it's like what Clay said about the nostalgia. I like that. It makes you feel like immersed inside the game. Like any decision you make can change that whole gameplay, and I love that. I think the first thing I played there was with The Witcher 3, when I was playing, and I made a decision, and my game was different from my friend's game. So I love that fact that they're doing that with Detroit. I hope they do that with other games. So
Most definitely.
Sony brought the games, and that's what I loved about it.
Most definitely. So speaking of games, we're just going to go over a couple of games that we saw throughout the conference. So Xbox One X brought this game out about Crackdown. Who wants to jump on Crackdown?
I'm not going to lie. I think Terry Crews definitely maybe wanted to jump on Crackdown. Like he jumped off that building. That was great.
All right. Another game we're going to jump on real quick. Anybody else got anything on Crackdown?
Well, I think Crackdown does look good. I mean, it's the only thing from Xbox that actually look very good, but it's not enough to make me spend $500 on this system. But Crackdown did look pretty good.
Another game we got on the table, we already talked about God of War, Shadow of the Colossus. Who wants to jump on Shadow of the Colossus?
Oh, me, pick me. Oh, my God, we have been waiting for this remake for God knows how long. It was such a cult classic title back in the day. I mean, the concept of just being able to climb these massive creatures and just take them down, it was always so cool. And they were so well designed. And that was one of the biggest draws, is just how magical the open world was, just the lush scenery, the amazing scenery. And then you get to these creatures that are just towering, these monolithic beings, and you're able to take them down. And then now we see them in the updated graphics and the way that everything's got smoothed out, and it's so much cooler now. And it's been crazy. The whole community has been insane waiting for this game to come about, and we finally get to see it, and we all just jumped out of our boots for that one.
Dan, did you get a chance to check out the Assassin's Creed game?
You know what? I did. I'm not a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I never really got into it a lot. I mean, I played it back like on the 360 back in the day. I think it looked good. I guess I don't know it as much as the next guy of if they're staying with the same like characters and whatnot. Maybe one of the other homies can tell you there, but it looked good. I thought the graphics looked good. The screenplay looked good. They're obviously like trying to take it to the next level.
No, I mean, it's not the same character because in the first Assassin's Creed, it was Ezio, and this kid right here, I mean, he's one of the last Magi. And if you know what the Magi are, Magi, if you ever seen the Mummy movie, and the Scorpion King, one of those guys at Army that helped fight the Scorpion King army, those were a Magi. So that's what the Magi King, he was one of the first ones. So.
I got you, bro. Thanks for coming in on me there. Good.
Yeah, I love this Assassin's Creed game. I mean, it looks good. I mean, with the stealth kills, I mean, it then looks like we're going to be using the eagle. With the eagle eye, I mean, I can't wait to play this game.
Oh, man, it looked good.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, I mean, Assassin's Creed games are really, really good. I mean, if you got a chance to check out any of them, check them out. I think that the Infield collection is pretty good, and Black Flag is pretty good.
Most definitely. Next thing we want to jump on, and before we do so, guys, if you don't know who we are already, always go follow us on social media everywhere. It's Fandoms Anonymous. We'll definitely be dropping the links in the description, and we'll definitely go over that towards the end of this show. So one thing we want to jump on to now is a question. And I'm going to start with Dan. Dan, what were your disappointments from E3?
The disappointments was really with Microsoft as a whole. I know you're jumping the platform. I know you're giving me the big system, but what else are you giving me? Like when I saw their presentation, it was like they're releasing like the new iPad. Like we got the new technology, but there wasn't a lot of fun to it. The thrill factor. Like we talked about before, a lot of these games for Sony, it was like a movie you're watching and you're like, oh my God, I don't even care what system it's on. Like if that system runs better, if you have that game, us gamers are gonna buy it. So I mean, Microsoft kind of let me down a little bit. I used to really like Microsoft. I've been going more towards PlayStation lately, and this is just another reason why I'm probably going to stick to PlayStation more.
And Clay, what were your disappointments?
The lack of certain games like The Last of Us 2, which we were really hoping to see more development on E3. We got trailers at the last E3, and we were all really excited, but we wanted to see more. We wanted to see the titles that we've really been anticipating because they were such amazing games, the predecessors were. So we want to see those sequels come out and really do justice to the franchise. The Last of Us, of course, was an amazing title. And then, like Dan just talked about with the consoles, I mean, a new console is great. It's fantastic. It's wonderful, but we're not buying it for the console. We're buying it for the games. So show us the games. We want to see the games. And you're showing us games for multi-platform. Okay, well, we can just get it on this other system over here. What's the point? That's where my disappointment really was in that. And, of course, I wanted to see more Metroid Prime 4, but Nintendo didn't give me that. But I'm fine. I'm good.
Darrell, what are your thoughts or your disappointments for E3?
Well, I mean, Clay and Dan just took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, it was with Microsoft. Microsoft, you got one job to do. Bring us something. You bring us a new console. Great. Okay? And I think you said this in another Phantom Nunners video, so I can't remember exactly how you said it, but I'm going to take something from you. It's like having maybe like a new car, or let's say a gun or something, a gun with no bullets. You got a gun, how are you going to use it? You got a car, it's an amazing car, but with no wheels. Where is it going? It's going nowhere. So you got this powerful system, but you didn't bring nothing to the table. What can I use this powerful system with? Nothing. You didn't bring me nothing to use it with. So I was very disappointed about you didn't bring us anything. And then it's $500? Really? $500, okay. You're competing with PlayStation. Okay? That's what you're competing with is PlayStation. Their powerful console is $400. You should have stick with $400. Not $500 and no games. It's a very, very big disappointment. And my last disappointment was, well, I shouldn't be disappointed about it because they never show up. But I was upset that Rockstar didn't show up. I was just hoping and praying Rockstar shows up and show us some more Red Dead Redemption. I wanted to see Red Dead Redemption so bad, but we all know Rockstar never shows up. But I was hoping this time.
Now, since we're talking about this price point of this new Xbox system, Clay, what are your thoughts on it?
I get what they're trying to do. They're thinking they're the top dog on the market right now. They're thinking they are the honest-to-God most powerful system. That was their words. You can watch their conference. It's exactly what they said. And they think that as a result, that they need to be the ones like, oh, hey, we got $500. But like Darrell just said, you got Sony who's also running 4K on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But it's like, well, I mean, it doesn't really – no, it doesn't matter. If somebody is honestly willing to just look at the graphics, like from a graphic standpoint, and wanted to run it in 4K, guess what? They can get a PS Pro or PS4 Pro for $400 and run the same games you just showed us, except for Crackdown. And that's disappointing. So you should have just left it at $400, like Darrell said, and that have been the end. And you'd been okay.
So Dan, do you think that they should have left it at $400 as well?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, I have a PS4 and an Xbox One right now, and the PS4, it's way better. Like if I've got 2K17 for both of them, I put them in at the same time, and the PS4 loads it up in 30 seconds. The one takes like 2 minutes to load up 2K. They have to keep up in their systems because they're not making quality systems, in my opinion. Yeah, they're coming out, but they're always leaving something behind. You know, I think that we're finally starting to see the demise and the decay of Microsoft as a whole, because just like Bro said, it like with the reference, you know, that they have the car, but they don't have wheels. They're not driving it anywhere. You don't have a good game to go with it. So I think $500 is way too pricey when you have PlayStation coming out with all these good games. I mean, even Nintendo is coming out with good games.
And you've brought up a point that I always hear a lot of people, and I will argue them down. And we got a new guest on the show. My man James Lang is here. What's going on, James?
Hey, Malcolm. How you doing? I'm well.
Good. Thanks for joining us, man. And you came in on a pivotal point. Now, Dan just said that even Nintendo is coming out with some good games. There's always been this talk that, oh, Nintendo sucks, Nintendo this, Nintendo that. And I've always told Darrell, and I've told other people, Nintendo could care less what Sony and what Microsoft is doing. They really could, because Nintendo is in their own world. Their games are in their own world. I remember when I was coming up and I had NBA Streets Volume 3. Loved NBA Streets Volume 3. And everybody wanted to play on my GameCube because you could not get Peach, Mario, and Luigi in the game on Xbox, nor could you get them in the game on PlayStation. Nintendo does their own thing. So, James, what are your thoughts on Nintendo just not caring what Sony and PlayStation are doing?
I think I've always appreciated Nintendo's kind of deviation from the normal concept of what a lot of like serious gamers say. You know, I've heard people, you know, serious gamers don't play Nintendo game. Like that's ridiculous, because you know I mean I'm a PC gamer myself. I played a pretty good variety of more AAA titles, and I play, you know, like Dark Souls and all that kind of stuff. I will go back to a Nintendo game any day of the week, especially the old classics. I have several Nintendo systems. You know, I really like what they do and how they innovate in just really unique and creative ways. So, I mean, and we're also talking about a company that, remember, devotes pretty much their entire focus to video games versus Sony and Microsoft, who have to kind of divide their resources between that and their other, you know, computer and entertainment-oriented projects. And Nintendo has a pretty dedicated, you know, system. Obviously, they, you know, go out and do toys and other such things, but for the most part, they they focus on their games, and so they have that ability to kind of clean and polish things in a way where they don't have to put all the fancy, they don't need a 4K graphics system to be relevant. And the IPs, the intellectual property that they've developed over the course of their history is so cherished and just well liked by not only the hardcore fan base, but a lot of younger gamers. I have a 6-year-old brother who has a Wii U and absolutely loves it. And he's playing all the same intellectual properties that they've been putting out for years: Pokemon and Mario and Legend of Zelda. They maintained such a strong force in the market, basing most of their business on those, decades-old IPs, and they still manage to make them fresh. And I think that Nintendo really has an edge in that market, and that's why they can afford to kind of have what are, from a business perspective, they've had a few flops. The Wii U was kind of a flop. I mean, it was kind of confusing with the name. People were thinking, is this a new system or is this just an updated Wii? I'm not a big fan. I like the screen controller, but I don't like it because it's clunky. I think with the Switch they kind of perfected what they were trying to do there. But I think they can definitely afford to kind of play around with experimental things, and occasionally they get something really good. Like the GameCube. The GameCube is another example of what was kind of considered to be like not very good in the business market. Sales weren't great originally, but it was such a great and well-rounded system. I could only name a couple of critiques. Like I wasn't a fan of the disc media. I will say I didn't like the small discs that were kind of, it was a little bit weird for me. But overall, it was a great system. Had a huge range of titles, had third-party titles, and they kind of lost that with the Wii and the Wii U. They started kind of losing the third-party manufacturers, but they've stepped it back up with the Switch, having like Bethesda get involved and whatnot. And I think that's really going to take them far if they can continue to branch out and expand with more third-party titles. But I don't think that they have to do any of what Microsoft or Sony have done in the past in order to stay relevant.
And I just want to add to that. I mean,
go ahead.
On that big note about that, just with them being able to be on their own IPs, it's a fantastic point. And, of course, whenever Nintendo needs to bring out the big guns, they do. And let's just look at Breath of the Wild. What they released recently is arguably the most fantastic Legend of Zelda game they've ever released. And anytime they need to sell a new console, honestly, all they got to do is just say, hey, we got a new Smash Bros. Coming out. We got a new Mario Kart, and people will line up. I know that's how I got my Wii U, was they were like, oh, the new Skyward Sword was coming out, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to go get that. Or, ooh, the new Super Smash Bros., I'm going to go get that, and that's all they need to do. And it's because the games they create are just meant to have fun. And, I mean, that's what they do, is they make games that are fun.
That's right. And if I can interject one, like I bought my Wii U specifically for Wind Waker HD. Like I saw that and I knew I had to play it. It was beautiful. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, let me jump in one time. I bought my Wii U for Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. Well, yeah. So.
Now with me, like I said, big Nintendo player, and you brought up something that I love, my GameCube games. I love my GameCube games. Yep. I still, to this day, will go to an old vintage game store and buy a GameCube game and throw it in my Wii and play it. Because it was something about GameCube when it came out. I had a black GameCube system, and like I say, those games and those titles were so classic. I remember there was a game that me and Darrell and some of my other cousins, we played till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It was a Ninja Turtles 4-player game. That was one of the best games ever. There was
oh
a
my God, I remember that.
Yeah, Mario Party 7, Mario Kart Double Dash. Like, the list goes on. The titles of that GameCube had were deep. You can go in any old vintage video game store or go on any website and look at the full list of GameCube games that have ever been created, and it will be pages and pages upon pages of different games from different styles, from sports to adventure to entertainment, just all types of games. But we're going to jump off of that topic real quick. I want to let James get a chance to answer the question that we asked before we got on. What were some of your disappointments from E3?
Oh, okay. I definitely was disappointed with Bethesda. That was my biggest disappointment because I mean, I see what they're doing with the VR. I know they're trying to branch into VR, and it's just, but they're milking the shit out of Skyrim. I mean, they had it was one of the best-selling games of its time, and it, you know, it's a great game. I still play it from time to time. Guy got the legendary PC, so I got it automatically. But you know, I've owned, you know, at least 3 different copies of that game. I went back and I bought Oblivion because I love Skyrim so much. I ended up loving Oblivion. You know, Bethesda has the capability. The Fallout series I love. You know, they have such great stuff, and then they come back and they say, hey, we're gonna, you know, beat this dead horse a little bit longer with some VR. We're going to throw some VR on Doom, which, you know, and if it were just Doom that they were talking about, it wouldn't be a peeve for me, a pet peeve. But it's like they're doing the same thing that they're doing with Skyrim now. Is they're gonna try and beat that dead horse. I didn't get a chance to see the whole thing yet for Bethesda specifically. I had to cut out in the middle of the video. If I'm correct, maybe one of you can correct me, but I think they announced a Wolfenstein 2. Is that right? Yeah, okay. I am kind of intrigued by that. I wouldn't mind giving that a try. I haven't seen anything from it, but I did like their revamp of Wolfenstein as far as, you know, a linear kind of shooter with a really interesting, you know, story. I kind of like that alternate history kind of feel to it, and so I'll look into that, and I may end up getting that, but you know, Bethesda's been kind of a little bit of a disappointment over the last couple of years. Fallout 4 was great in my opinion, especially, you know, with being a PC gamer, I get to mod the shit out of it, so, you know, I like it. I like it a lot. Sorry, can I swear? Is that okay? Sorry. I'll tone it down a little bit. But I did really like Fallout 4, but like Elder Scrolls Online was a major disappointment for me. I feel like it's better now, but it's kind of like how Destiny was, where it came out, and I played it a lot, and it was fun, and then it just kind of like felt bare bones pretty quickly. Yeah. And then they improved it later, and it's fine. And I'm fine with them expanding upon that game and trying to continue with it. But it seems like a little bit of a lost cause to me. I feel like they're not gonna maintain the numbers. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the next Elder Scrolls game that comes out, and like Elder Scrolls Online will basically be dead. So I was kind of disappointed with Bethesda's presentation, at least what I saw of it. I guess it wasn't a total loss, but I'd love to see some talk at least about whatever the next Elder Scrolls game is going to be. I know it's probably a few years off, being that, you know, they're working on other IPs, and technically the Elder Scrolls Online counts So they're going to be like, well, we just released an Elder Scrolls game, so we're going to give it, another 6 years before we release the Elder Scrolls 6. But I would like to see them kind of take what they learned with Fallout 4 and what they learned through, it's their repetitive beating of Skyrim, and kind of try to put the polish on a new game. Hopefully with, less bugs than Skyrim, but it was, still enjoyable even with the bugs. And then one other thing that I was disappointed by was their kind of underhanded way of making mods a paid thing, where they're not. You remember they caught a lot of flack for the paid mods idea for a while, and that I'm glad they caught flack because, well, that's one of you're killing the modding community because not everybody is willing to pay, and the people who make donations keep those modders afloat for the most part. So when they announced that they were going to do kind of, I can't remember what they called it, but basically they were going to take input from modders in the community, and they were going to take kind of concepts, and the modders were going to work alongside the Bethesda guys. Like, I'm not opposed to that, but it seems to me like they're kind of trying to get that paid mod thing and just turn it into DLC. So they're outsourcing assistance from the community. If they pay those modders, which I assume that they will be, if they pay the modders, I'm not totally opposed to it, but it does seem a little bit like a further cash grab. And when you combine that with the fact that they're beating, Skyrim into the ground, they're starting to do it with Doom and VR and whatnot. When you see them doing all that stuff, it really kind of disappoints me in the way that they're operating, and tells me they might not be focusing on the quality of their content anymore as much as the quantity and the price point.
I'll jump in on that one because I'm a Bethesda fan also. So, and when you brought up that, and you was spot on because Bethesda, they really didn't bring anything. You're bringing us Skyrim VR. Skyrim, it's like 4 or 5 years old. I mean, y'all bringing out Skyrim again. So you're 100% right about that. So yeah, I was disappointed in Bethesda also. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to see something new. I wanted to see something, this hint on Elder Scrolls 6. It's just throw me a hint, throw me a bone, just like what they do with Metroid. They show,
just tell us you got something going. Like, hey, we're not doing it this year, but maybe we're working on something, and next year you're gonna get something cool. That would be okay.
Yeah, like they do with Metroid. Metroid was a teaser. But we know Metroid games coming out. They ain't showing nothing with Metroid, but we've seen Metroid 4. We've seen you could just show it or something. Give us a musical note or something, and then throw a 6 in there. That's all we needed. That's all I wanted to know. Let me know y'all are working on this game because that's what I want.
No, I would like to see that too. And can I add on another note? I haven't seen. I didn't see much about Metroid. I understand it's a teaser, but I am very excited about that. Metroid Prime was one of the games I had for GameCube, and I loved it. I can't wait to see another, hopefully a better one than the last couple they released, but kind of a return to that Metroid Prime formula would be really cool, I think.
Absolutely, and that was another game that really sold consoles that actually was a big seller for the GameCube. I remember when they used to have the thing here in town called the Cube Club, where they were bringing in the GameCubes, and one of the biggest games they were showing not only was Mario Sunshine, but it was Metroid Prime, and Metroid Prime just sold me on the dime. It was amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the other things, last things that we want to jump on is who won E3. I'm gonna start with you, Dan.
Okay, we're going to go top 3 here. We're going to go 3. I'm going with Microsoft. I don't think that they gave us enough to really give them a lot of credit until we see the new system and they have new good games for it. I'm not going to put you over even Nintendo right now. At 2, I'm going to go Nintendo because they brought the fun factor. Like you said before, Malcolm, how you had the game how you had that NBA game and you could only have Mario. Well, they got a new game coming out with the Rabbids, the Rayman Rabbids with Mario. They got a bunch of games coming out that are only for the Switch. That's going to be huge. They're going to make their money, and you're going to get your cult classics coming, IPs for years, going and going. And number one, who stole the show for me, is PlayStation. They came out and really gave a grand performance. I thought it was amazing. It was smart. They gave us enough to not want a new system right now. And that's really the key. You know, Microsoft is already pushing for that new system because they're running out of ideas. Sony still has enough good ammo to keep moving, to keep the fans happy, and I loved it.
Using the same top 3 format, Clay, tell me about your who won E3.
Let's go top 3. Number 3 for me was actually a conference we didn't talk about, but a lot of the different other guys, except for Nintendo, they actually brought in a lot of the same games from the particular company. Ubisoft's press conference, I'm going to give that slot to them simply because Microsoft brought in Assassin's Creed. They had other games out there that just looked phenomenal, Beyond Good and Evil. Skull and Bones looks great. They have so many cool titles coming out, and I'm really excited for them. So definitely my number 3 choice is Ubisoft. Number 2, I'm going with Nintendo, simply because, like we've said a few times now, they brought the fun. The games are phenomenal. Their IPs, they're the same IPs as before, but who cares? The games are unbelievably fun, and they're always something interesting, always something new. And of course, number 1, Sony, hands down.
James, let me get your top 3.
All right. I'm kind of with I'm kind of with the idea of kind of putting Ubisoft in there. I've been disappointed by Ubisoft in the past. I'm skeptical of whatever they come out with, just because of some of the kind of ham-fisted ways they've tried to put. You know, we had what was it, Assassin's Creed Unity, I think it was, that had all those bugs.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. It was just garbage. And then I've always been a fan of the Assassin's Creed series. I wasn't a big fan of 3 in particular. The first 2 were great. 4 I loved. I played that for months.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really where they innovated with that naval combat. They really took it up a notch and made it into something that was like really, really fun to work on, and an integral part of the game. So when I saw Ubisoft was working on basically kind of a spin-off title that I think Skull and Bones, where it's basically straight up, you know, pirate life, well, I got excited because I even said when I was playing that game, I really like what they did here, and I'd like to see them kind of incorporate this into its own kind of game. Like playing, when's the last time you got to play as like a pirate and you actually did pirate things, you know? Like it's not just like a joke character kind of added in, you know, for some kind of laugh factor, some gimmicky story. You know, it's like you're actually taking part in the things that pirates are known for having done. Whether it's historically accurate, you know, is one thing, but irrelevant to the actual fun factor of the game. Those historical elements add a little bit, and that's fun, but it's really the mechanics that make the game. And so I think Ubisoft could definitely come in at a solid 3 for me. I'm not going to put Microsoft in the top 3. And, you know, for a lot of the same reasons. Like, basically, my biggest thing with them is, you know, coming back to the Microsoft X or the Microsoft One X. Again, you know, one thing I see here is they're making the same mistake that I, you know, criticized Nintendo for earlier with the Wii U. Is they basically just made it's almost like a hack generation, even though they're going to have. Yeah, it's going to have some cross-compatibility, and they're going to have games that are kind of exclusive to it. But it's really kind of a half generation. It's not a full upgrades. So like, what in God's name would make them think that I would want to spend $500 for just updated graphics and, you know, further exclusivity, you know? And that's really how they're going to get people to buy it, you know, the few, you know, more, I think that's more of a casual gaming system anymore at this point. I'd like to see them do more because I think they're capable of knowing how they do PCs. I think that there's options that they could do which would be much better, but yeah, I'm not happy with I'm not impressed. It's hard to get me impressed with Microsoft from their Xbox perspective. From the PC perspective, it's one thing, but the Xbox, they haven't really ever impressed me except for the 360. The first one was okay in my mind, but I was a PS2 guy, so yeah, I'm not even going to put Microsoft up there. I'm going to give Ubisoft a solid 3 for coming out with really kind of innovative looking content, and the new Assassin's Creed looks pretty cool. I might give that a try. You know, that going back to ancient Egypt, that looks, that sounds kind of fun. And just the widespread content again, like Dan said, with them working with Nintendo to bring the Rabbids and the Mario IPs together, which they've kind of worked with in the past, but they're bringing it together in like an XCOM style strategy game, and I like what it looks like. It should be interesting. So I think Nintendo also, as to segue into that, I think Nintendo brought a lot of their usual charm and their usual nostalgia, kind of juice, and I really like that about them. I don't ever want them to change in that respect. I like that, as I was saying earlier, that the IPs that have been with us for so long, I really like that they can just continue to master new ways of presenting it. And so, I'll easily give Nintendo a solid 2 in that respect. And at the risk of sounding like, conforming to everybody else, I'm going to give Sony that 1. I generally agree that the games that they brought will continue to extend the life cycle of this, particular generation. I don't think Sony has to take that half step with Microsoft. Microsoft almost has to, because the Xbox One, it was commercially it was fairly successful, but it got beat out by the PS4, and a lot of people ended up switching later on, and so they I feel like they kind of felt like they had to kind of start fresh almost, even though they really didn't. But I think Sony definitely brought a good plethora of really like solid looking games and new IPs, and resurrecting some of the older IP, like the new God of War looks incredible. I really would love to play it. I don't think it'll look quite as good as the polished. It never does. Never looks quite as good as the polished version at the E3 shows, but it's gonna look fucking fantastic. I can't wait to give it a shot. Then there's Detroit Becoming Human, looks very innovative. I want to see more of it before I'm willing to put my money down on it. I want to see more of like how the gameplay will actually play out. But the story looks really engaging and incredible. The choice system, we've been disappointed with decision-based systems in the past. There's those games, where they market it as like a big decision-making game. I think we had like a problem with this with one of the Fables or something, and then you end up like not having, or no, it was like Mass Effect. Yeah, Mass Effect 3. Like you had all these choices throughout the game, and then how do they end it? It doesn't matter what you choose. You're basically doing the same fucking thing, And I would like to see the game and in multiple fashions based on the decisions you make. I don't know if any of you guys play PC games or are familiar with the game Stanley Parable. It's a very simple game. a narrative game, but like you can do. There's so many different endings. Like it's made in freaking in like Source Engine or something. I can't remember exactly, and it's just a simple. Like you move and you occasionally click on something, and you listen to the narrator, but it's such an incredible game because of how deeply they thought it through and how creative it was. If they can kind of capture that same kind of concept, that same quirkiness of a game like that, and put it into the decision-based system, I'll be really excited for it. I'd love to see it. And then the new Spider-Man game. Me and Dan were talking about this the other day. It just looks. It reminds me of the older Spider-Man games where you had a little more free roam, and you know it was a little bit more. You're in control of the powers. You know, it wasn't a lot of complicated moves. It actually reminds me of the play style. I was saying it reminds me of the last Batman game. Oh, God, remind me of the title. I can't even remember it.
Arkham?
Yeah, Arkham Knight, yes. Arkham Knight. It reminds me of Arkham Knight. I love the shit out of Arkham Knight. I don't even like superhero games in particular. But the way it played and the fact you kind of got to go around and actually, like, explore the city, and they did this in Arkham City, too, obviously, and Arkham Asylum, again, another great game. Like but the mechanics I'm seeing in the new Spider-Man game look very similar, and if that's what they're doing, if they're going for a similar kind of concept with that free roam and you know, quick decision-based combat with combos and, you know, using the web and whatnot to do special moves like that. If that's the case, I can get very excited about it. So Sony really was the one that brought the most excitement for me. So I'm easily going to give them the first place slot for E3. I think they won it.
Darrell, what is your top 3 for E3?
Well, I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's probably the same exact way. But I'm going to go ahead and put Xbox in here. Even though I shouldn't, I'm going to put Xbox in number 3. Xbox, yeah, I mean, it is very, very disappointing to me, okay? Like I said, you had one job to do. Give us a system that's going to last. It's like what Dan said, you know, we want something we can invest in. You want me to invest $500 in this system and you have nothing to show for it. No, I'm not going to do it. And number 2 is definitely Nintendo. Nintendo came out swinging this year. I mean, they brought games. They even, like you said, they even brought us a teaser of a game that we were excited about. They're showing us what they're working on. Okay? Number 1, Sony. And the game I was talking about earlier that I can remember was Days Gone. They came out swinging with that. I mean, I know I'm sick of zombie games. We have so many zombie games. You're sick of zombie games, but this game looks so good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I seen a scene where one guy, I mean, he used the zombies to his advantage, like how he made the zombies attack this group of people, and like almost like in any zombie world or zombie game is the zombies are not the problem. The zombies are the least of your problem. It's the real people are your problem. Yep. And if a group was of people and he threw a bottle or something and made the zombies go attack them, I mean, I can't wait to play that game. And like I said, God of War, oh my God, God of War looks beautiful. And it's like how James said, I know that's not how the game's going to look when we get it, but it still looks amazing. Yep. So, yeah, number 1, definitely Sony stole the show like they always do. They come out swinging with the game. And then it's like how Dan said, they showed us something that's going to last us for years to come. We already know this. The Xbox One X, even the PlayStation Pro, they are still current gen. This is current gen. These are not next gen titles. These are current gen. So Sony has shown us that, look, if you buy a PlayStation Pro, we got games that's going to last you. Okay? Because this generation is almost gone. This generation got at least about 2-3 years tops before the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox next. I'm just going to say the next comes out. So, but like this, Sony is showing us that, look, we invested, if you invest with us, we invested in you. So, yes, definitely Sony stole the show.
Most definitely, most definitely. Guys, this has been an amazing conversation, breaking down E3, breaking down video games over the years and what's coming out currently and what E3 has brought us from all different forms. We give everybody an opportunity to plug themselves. So, once again, Clay, where can we find you in Tales of the Blade?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on youtube.com/Tales of the Blade. Again, that's Tales, Tails. It is not a typo. It is meant to be ironic. Tales of the Blade, one word. You can also find us on the same location on Facebook, facebook.com/Tales of the Blade. We're also on Twitter. All of our links you can find on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. Come check us out. Subscribe to us. Show us some love. We got a lot of great videos. We do unboxing. We do gaming videos. And here very soon we're going to have more cosplay content because we are a cosplay and gaming channel. We not only play the games, we make them come to life, baby. That's how we do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. James, where can everybody find you at, man?
Well, I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/thecappygoy. That's TheCappyGoy, where I do commentary on politics, philosophy, and gaming. So you can find me there at Facebook, The Cappy Goy. You'll recognize us, the yellow and black smiley face.
And my man, Dan, with the plan, what can we find you at, man?
Hey, well, first of all, you can find me everywhere. But second of all, you can find me on YouTube. Just type in D-BROZ Dbraz, or you can find me on Instagram, River City Records, or find me on Facebook, Dbraz, Dan Brosnan, River City Records, and Press Play Entertainment.
And my man, Darrell, where can we find you at, bro?
Well, you can find me here on the Phantom channel. I do the Inferno Share Plays. I be on the Phantom Rant. And I'll be on here to get the Gaming Nation.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So definitely glad to have you all here today. If you guys don't know who we are, we're Fandoms Anonymous. That's FANDOMSANONYMOUS. We're all over social media, right here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to go and hit that notification bell for future videos. Also, head over to the Facebook, where we're on Facebook in our Facebook group, where you can join the Facebook group and join our discussions that we have each and every single day, and hit the like on the Facebook fan page as well. Also, head over to the Instagram, where we're at Fandoms_Anonymous17, and also head over to the Twitter, where we're at Anonymous_Fan17. Got a lot of new stuff coming up on the Fandoms Anonymous YouTube channel. We've been behind with Fandom Talk, have some scheduling conflicts, so we will be back tomorrow where we will be breaking down all of the different things that have happened that we have missed in the world of fandoms and entertainment and news. But guys, as I always say, if there is anything else, thanks for watching and have a good one.
Fandoms Anonymous.